All right, get ready, because we're doing a deep dive today into this ebook called Il Codice della Produttività.
Which translates to, like, the productivity code in English.
Exactly. And the idea here
But
is
y'all want to unlock those secrets to amazing results.
in less time.
In less time, right. Because who hasn't felt like they're just spinning their wheels?
Oh, constantly.
Busy, but not really getting anywhere.
Yeah, totally. So,
Well, what's cool is this book just jumps right in.
okay.
Chapter 1, it's like, boom, the myth of being busy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just because you're busy,
Listen me.
it does not equal productivity.
I've been there.
Oh, haven't we all?
Big time.
So how does the book actually define real productivity then? What makes it different?
Yeah, good question.
It's not just about cramming your schedule, right? It's about
Right.
getting those results, those extraordinary results. And the book gives you five like elements. You've got clear goals, prioritization, focus, optimization, and then sustainability.
Oh, interesting.
That last one is really key.
I can see that.
Because what good is a system that burns you out, right?
No good at all.
You can't keep sprinting forever.
Oh, really? Okay, so let's break these down, right?
Yeah.
Clear goals. Sounds like
Oh, that's the foundation.
a good place to start.
Absolutely. The book is all about, like, the SMART goals framework.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
It's like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
I like that.
So think of it like a laser focus.
Okay, that makes sense.
Not just this wishy-washy idea.
So we've zeroed in,
Yeah.
got our target.
We know what we're going for.
Okay, so then how do we, like, sift through everything
Right.
to figure out what really deserves our attention?
Ah, that's where prioritization comes in.
Makes sense.
So we're moving away from just being busy
Yeah.
to being strategic.
Okay, I like it.
You've got to pick those high-impact tasks, the ones that are really going to move the needle.
The ones that actually matter.
Yeah, the ones that matter for your goals.
Oh, I'm liking this already.
Right. Work smarter, not harder.
That's the key. So clear goals.
Yeah.
Strategic priorities.
And then the next piece
What's next?
is focus.
Good.
Like, this is where we're fighting distraction.
The struggle is real.
Right. The book says single tasking.
Mm-mm.
Really? Yeah, like working on one thing at a time
Right.
until it's done.
That sounds so hard these days.
I know, right? It's like the opposite of what we're used to.
Yeah, multitasking is like,
What research actually shows it's better.
okay, well, I'm willing to try it.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
You actually get better results.
Makes sense, because every time you switch gears, you've got to, like, get your brain back on track.
Totally, it takes time.
All right, so less multitasking, more focus.
Laser focus.
Okay, what about this optimization thing?
Okay, think of it like fine-tuning.
Okay,
You're streamlining your workflow
I like it.
to be as efficient as possible.
Gotcha. So it's about the tools and techniques.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that brings us to,
To chapter 2,
yes, chapter 2.
where the book's like, all right,
Here's how you actually build this system.
yeah, let's get practical.
Let's get down to business.
They give you 5 pillars:
Okay,
strategic planning, time management, energy management, eliminating distractions, and then automation and delegation.
wow, that's a lot.
That's the foundation of your productivity house.
Okay, I like that analogy.
All right, so strategic planning.
Let's start there.
It's the first pillar, right?
Yeah.
Think of it like your roadmap.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is where you really dig into those SMART goals.
All right.
Break them down,
Okay.
make a plan, get specific.
So, like, we're creating a blueprint.
Exactly, for that productivity house.
I like that.
And then comes time management, which is putting those plans into action.
Yeah.
Using all the different techniques.
Well, like the Pomodoro technique,
Oh, they talk about it's a classic for a reason.
right? Working in those focus bursts.
Yeah, and then
Ah.
you get a little break.
I can do that.
It really helps with, like, preventing burnout.
Okay.
But the book also talks about time blocking.
What's that?
You allocate specific time for each task.
Okay.
And then there's the Eisenhower matrix.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it helps you decide what's urgent, what's important.
So time blocking is like scheduling it out.
Yeah, like blocking off time in your calendar.
Okay.
And the Eisenhower matrix is like, all right, what needs to happen first?
Okay, that makes sense.
What needs to happen right now?
Okay, and then we've got energy management.
Oh, that's a big one.
I feel like that gets overlooked sometimes.
Oh, all the time, but it's so important.
It really is.
So the book's like, pay attention to your energy throughout the day.
Okay,
Do those tough tasks when you're at your peak.
makes sense.
Save the easier stuff for when you're maybe a little less energized.
Okay.
And of course, sleep, exercise, nutrition, all that good stuff.
All the basics.
It all matters. It's about
Wow.
working with your body, not against it.
It's a holistic approach.
Totally.
I like it.
Mind and body.
Okay, so we've done planning,
Yeah.
time management, energy management.
What's next?
Oh, eliminating distractions.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, that's a constant battle.
It never ends.
So what does the book have to say?
Okay, it says first, figure out what your distractions are.
Okay.
Like, what's actually pulling you away from your work?
Yeah, for me, it's like,
Social media,
oh, 100%.
a messy desk,
Yes, that too.
noisy coworkers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Whatever it is, identify it,
Name it to tame it.
right, and then make a plan to minimize those distractions.
So, like, create a dedicated workspace.
Exactly. Put your phone on silent,
Do not disturb.
or even use those website blockers
Oh, those can be really helpful.
if you need to.
Yeah.
You need that extra help.
Okay, so we're designing an environment that supports our focus.
Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind, you
All right.
know.
Love it.
All right. And then we have automation and delegation.
Oh, tell me more about that.
This is all about working smarter,
Yes, please.
not harder, right?
Right.
So you find the tasks that can either be automated,
With technology.
yeah, or handed off to someone
Whatever,
else.
delegation.
Delegation, exactly.
Which can be hard for some people.
It can be, but the book's like, look,
Yeah.
not only does it free up your time,
Right.
but it lets you focus on your strengths.
Okay, that makes sense.
And what you're really good at.
So we're leveraging our resources wisely.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a pretty solid foundation
It's a good start.
for building our productivity system.
The foundation of that house.
But there's more. Right.
Oh, there's always more.
Okay, chapter 3.
Chapter 3.
We're getting into some advanced productivity strategies.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
They talk about the Pareto principle,
Go.
batching, eat that frog, the Feynman technique,
Okay, hold on.
and visualization.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay.
We've got a lot to cover.
Yeah, what's the Pareto principle?
Okay, it's also called the 80-20 rule.
Oh, I've heard of that.
So basically, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts.
Interesting.
It's about finding that 20%.
That really matters.
The tasks that really move the needle.
Okay.
And focusing on those.
No more getting bogged down in the little stuff.
Exactly. Prioritize, prioritize, prioritize.
Love it. What about batching?
Okay, batching is grouping similar tasks together and doing them all at once.
Okay.
So instead of checking email all day,
Oh, that's a big one.
you set aside time just for email.
Makes sense.
You get in the zone.
Yeah, and you power through it.
You're not switching back and forth.
I like it.
It saves mental energy.
Okay, and eat that frog.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
I'm intrigued.
It's a metaphor, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is you do your hardest task first thing in the morning.
Like, get it out of the way.
Yeah, like eat that frog. Then the rest of your day feels easy.
Okay, I can see that, but some mornings I just need to ease into it.
Totally. It's not for everyone. But the point is, find what works for your energy.
Okay, so figure out your own rhythm.
Right. What works for you.
Okay, what about this Feynman technique?
Oh, that one's interesting.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So it's actually a learning method.
Okay,
You explain something in simple terms,
Yeah.
like you're teaching it to a kid.
I like that.
The book says, use this to understand things better
Okay.
and remember them better.
Makes sense.
Because if you can't explain it simply,
Yeah.
you probably don't really get it.
Oh, maybe try that one.
It's a good test.
Yeah.
And then finally, visualization.
Oh, I love visualization.
It's so powerful.
It really is.
So the book's like, visualize yourself achieving your goals.
Okay.
Make it real in your mind.
Yeah, like, see it happening.
From like programming your brain for success.
Okay, I like that.
Give your subconscious a roadmap.
Oh, yeah. When I visualize,
Yeah.
I'm way more likely to actually take action.
It's amazing what our minds can do.
So true. All right. We've got strategies.
We've got techniques.
But what about the actual tools?
Ah, the tools. That's chapter 4.
Okay.
Tools and apps for productivity.
Oh, yeah. There's so many out there.
It's overwhelming, right?
It really is. Every week there's something new.
The book does a good job of like organizing everything,
Okay.
breaking it down into categories.
Okay, so what are the categories?
You've got task management apps
Okay.
like Todoist, Trello,
Gotcha.
time planning tools,
Okay.
Google Calendar, Notion.
Those are good ones.
Then you've got distraction blockers.
Like Freedom. I use that one.
Yeah, Freedom
Those
Force.
are lifesavers.
Absolutely.
Good. What else?
And of course, note-taking apps.
Oh, yeah. Evernote, OneNote.
Those are classics. They also talk about mind mapping,
Oh, interesting.
which can be good for like brainstorming and organizing ideas.
Okay, and other tools for that?
Yeah, there's MindMeister, XMind,
Wow.
and then even automation tools.
Oh, interesting.
Like Zapier,
What do
IFTTT.
those do?
They help you streamline those repetitive tasks.
So you save time.
Exactly. You save a ton of time.
It sounds like there's a tool for everything.
There really is.
So how do you even begin to choose?
Okay, the book says, start with your needs.
Okay.
What are your biggest challenges?
Right. Where do you need the most help?
Yeah, what's slowing you down?
Okay, so figure out what you need, then find the tools that help with that.
Exactly. It's not about using every single tool.
Right.
It's about using the ones that actually make a difference.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's got to work for you.
Yeah, I like that. So then chapter 5 takes kind of a turn, right?
It does. It gets into the power of passive income.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's like, how can passive income actually make you more productive?
Oh, interesting. I hadn't thought about it like that.
It's all about freeing up your time,
Yeah.
your mental energy.
And then you can do more of what you love.
Exactly. You can focus on your passions.
Okay, so how does the book say we create this passive income?
Well, it highlights network marketing
Okay.
as one way to do it.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's all about building a business
Okay.
that can eventually generate income.
Even when you're not actively working.
Yeah, passively.
So less stress,
Less stress.
more time flexibility,
Your time flexibility.
and potentially like really scale it up.
Exactly.
Okay, but network marketing is just one way to do it, right?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons of options out there.
Yeah, what works for one person might not work for another.
The book encourages you to do your research,
Okay.
find what fits your skills and your interests.
It's all about finding the right fit.
Totally.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here
We have.
in part 1.
We have.
We've debunked the myth of busyness.
We've talked about building that system.
Yeah.
All those strategies, the tools.
And even passive income.
This book is really comprehensive.
It is. And I think it's a great reminder
What's a good reminder?
that true productivity is about working smarter, not harder.
It's about intention.
It's about being strategic.
It's about having a system.
And it's about finding what works for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so before we jump into part 2,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, our listener, a question.
Well, I love it when you do that.
Okay, good.
It gets people thinking.
So what's been the most impactful takeaway for you so far?
Yeah. What's really resonated?
What are you excited to try?
What are you curious about?
Let us know. We'll be back in part 2 to dive deeper
We'll address some of your responses.
and explore even more of this awesome book.
We'll see you then.
Until then, keep those productivity gears turning.
Welcome back to our deep dive.
Into El Codice de la Productividad.
Yes, the productivity code.
And as we keep going.
You know, one thing that really struck me
Oh, tell me.
is how much the book emphasizes personalization.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a one-size-fits-all thing.
Right, because everyone's different. You can't just
It's-
have one system for everybody.
No, it
Yeah.
acknowledges that. What works for me might not work for you.
Totally.
And it encourages you to figure out,
What works for you?
what really works for your needs, your preferences.
I got.
It's refreshing,
Yeah.
because there's so much out there.
Oh, yeah.
All those productivity hacks.
Constantly bombarded.
It's like, this is the ultimate solution.
Yeah, right.
But this book's like, no,
It's got to be personal.
it's got to be personalized.
Okay, so we're not just jumping on every trend.
No.
We're being mindful,
Mindful.
intentional.
Intentional about what we're actually using.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Okay, and I think that's where
Where what comes in.
this idea of self-awareness that the book talks about,
Oh, yeah.
really understanding yourself,
Self-awareness is key.
your strengths, your weaknesses,
Your energy patterns.
what motivates you.
What throws you off.
Yeah.
It's like becoming a student of your own productivity.
I like that.
Paying attention.
Yeah,
Noticing what works, what doesn't.
so that you can create a system
Right. A system that actually works for you,
that you can stick with.
that you can stick with long term.
It's like the book saying, hey, don't just blindly follow somebody else's plan.
Right.
Figure out what works for you.
Exactly. You're the expert of you.
Yeah, so become the architect of your own productivity,
The architect. I love that.
not just blindly following.
Following someone else's blueprint.
Exactly, and I think that's
Ah.
really exciting because it means you can achieve anything
Oh, absolutely.
once you unlock your own potential.
The potential is there.
Okay, so speaking of unlocking potential,
Yes.
the book talks about mindset too. Right?
Oh, mindset's huge.
It really is. Like your thoughts and beliefs really shape your reality.
They really do.
And the book says
What does it say?
that your mindset
Yeah.
really affects how productive you are.
It affects everything.
Affects everything.
Your beliefs, your attitude,
Yeah.
they play a huge role in whether you succeed or not.
It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Oh, that's so true.
If you believe in yourself,
Yeah.
you're more likely to put in the effort.
To keep going.
Yeah.
Even when it's tough.
But if you're doubting yourself,
Yeah.
focusing on limitations.
You're setting yourself up for not achieving what you want.
Okay, so I used to struggle with negative self-talk.
Oh, me too.
All the time.
It's so easy to get stuck in that cycle.
It is. But then I started
What did you start doing?
practicing positive affirmations.
Wow, yeah.
Focusing on my strengths.
That's great.
And it's amazing how much of a difference it made
It's amazing how powerful that can be.
in my productivity.
And your well-being overall.
Yeah, totally.
It's all connected.
It really is so.
So the book gives you some tips for cultivating a more positive mindset,
Like what?
focusing on your strengths, celebrating your wins,
Okay, I like that.
surrounding yourself with positive people.
Those are all good ones.
It's about creating that supportive environment.
Yeah, it's so easy to get dragged down by negativity.
It is, but you can choose.
You can choose to focus on the positive,
Exactly.
and that can really help.
Especially when you're facing challenges.
Oh, yeah, because those are inevitable.
They are. It's part of the process.
It's about having that resilience
resilience.
to bounce back.
To keep going.
And that's where self-care comes in, right?
Oh, self-care is crucial.
The book talks about that too.
It does. It's not just about working hard.
Right, it's about taking care of yourself.
Exactly. So you can actually show up as your best self.
Because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
So it's not selfish.
No.
It's essential.
It's essential for sustainable productivity.
And for your well-being.
For long-term well-being.
So finding that balance
Balance is key.
between working hard
Working hard.
and taking care of yourself.
Taking care of yourself.
Okay, so we've talked about personalization,
We've talked about mindset.
self-care. Anything else stand out to you from the book?
You know, I really like the part about purpose.
Oh, tell me more.
Like connecting your productivity to something bigger.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about purpose.
It's like, why are you doing all this?
Yeah, what's your why?
Exactly.
Because when you know your why,
It's so much easier.
it is. It's so much easier to stay motivated.
Just stay focused.
Yeah.
Even when things get tough.
Yeah, you got that extra push?
It's like your North Star
Oh, I like that.
guiding you,
Yeah, guiding your actions.
guiding your decisions.
Okay, so how do you find your purpose?
Ah, that's the million-dollar question.
It's not always easy.
It's not.
So what does the book say?
The book says, reflect.
Yeah.
Think about your values, your
Okay.
passions,
Yeah,
your vision for your life.
I like that.
Ask yourself the big questions.
Like what?
What do I care about?
Okay.
What kind of impact do I want to make?
Oh, those are good ones.
Those are the questions that really get you thinking.
They really make you dig deep.
They do.
And then once you have that clarity.
That clarity of purpose, it can really fuel your productivity.
Oh, yeah, because it's not just about checking things off a list.
No, it's about contributing.
Yeah, to something bigger.
To something bigger than yourself.
Okay, so our productivity,
It's like a force for good.
it's a way to make a difference.
Make a difference in the world.
I love that.
It's an amazing concept.
Okay, so we've talked about personalization,
Mindset.
self-care.
Purpose.
This book really does take a holistic approach.
It does. It's not just about hacks and tricks.
Right.
It's about creating a lifestyle.
That supports your productivity
Bringing your well-being.
and your well-being. And I think that's
That.
a really important message
Yeah.
for our listeners.
It's not just about squeezing more into your day.
right.
It's about living a more intentional life.
A more fulfilling life.
A life that's aligned with what you care about.
I like that.
So, as you're on your productivity journey, remember to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Celebrate those wins.
Yes. Celebrate the wins.
Learn from the setbacks.
Because those are going to happen.
They are.
And keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
New ways to work smarter.
To live a more fulfilling life.
Okay, so we've only scratched the surface here.
Oh, there's so much more in this book.
But before we move on to part 3,
Yeah.
I want to hear from you.
I love hearing from our listeners.
So, what are your thoughts so far?
What's resonated with you?
What are you excited to try?
What questions do you have?
Let us know.
We'll be back in part 3.
We'll continue our exploration.
And we'll address some of your responses.
Until then, keep those productivity gears turning. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We're wrapping up Il Codice della Produttività.
Our productivity code deep dive.
Exactly, and I want to get into some of your responses.
Oh, yeah. What are people saying?
Yeah, so one listener said that
Yeah.
the whole concept of energy management
Yeah.
was like a total game changer.
I can see that.
Because they never really thought about
Yeah.
doing their most demanding tasks when they had the most energy.
It makes sense, though, right?
It does. You know, we just kind of go through our day
Yeah, we just power through.
without thinking about it.
Yeah, without thinking about it.
When our energy's high or low.
Right. But it's so important.
It is.
To work with your energy.
So that this listener was saying they used to try to do everything in the morning.
Oh, wow.
But they're more of a night owl.
Oh, interesting.
So now they're switching it up.
Yeah.
Trying to do their important stuff later in the day.
When they're more alert.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly.
Okay, another listener wrote in saying that they were really struck by the whole idea of purpose in the book.
Purpose, yeah.
And it made them think about...
About what?
Their goals, like, are they really aligned with their values?
Oh, that's so important.
It is. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day.
In the grind.
Yeah, and forget.
Like, lose sight of the big picture.
Yeah, but when you know why you're doing something,
it makes it so much easier.
It does. Makes it so much easier to stay focused.
To stay motivated.
To keep going.
Even when it's tough.
I know for me, when I feel like my work really matters, it's so much easier to stay on track.
It's like you have that extra fuel.
Yeah, that inner drive.
You know why you're doing it.
Okay, we also got a comment from a listener.
Okay.
Who said that the book's discussion on mindset.
Mindset, oh yeah.
Really resonated.
It's such a powerful concept.
It is, and they said they've always struggled with...
With what?
Self-doubt.
Oh yeah, me.
And negative self-talk.
It can be crippling.
It can, but the book gave them some tools.
Tools to what?
To work with, to cultivate a more positive mindset.
It's so important to have those tools.
It is, because we all have that inner critic.
We do. It's about learning to manage it.
Exactly, not letting it control us.
Right, not letting it take over.
So it's not about denying the challenges.
No, it's about having that resilience.
Yeah, to bounce back.
To keep going even when it's tough.
And, sometimes it's just about changing your perspective.
Oh, perspective is everything.
It is. Like, instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks, what if we saw them as opportunities?
Opportunities for growth.
Yeah, to learn and to grow.
I love that shift.
Me too. It's about focusing on the lessons.
Even in the tough times.
Okay, so one last takeaway.
Okay, hit me with it.
From Il Codice della Produttività.
Yeah.
Is that productivity is a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. It's not about reaching some perfect state.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, it's about constantly
evolving,
learning, experimenting, refining your approach.
Finding what works.
Because what works today might not work tomorrow.
Exactly. Things change.
Life changes.
Life changes. You change.
So be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
Celebrate your wins.
Celebrate those wins.
Learn from the setbacks.
Learn from the setbacks.
And keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
New ways to work smarter.
To live a better life.
Yes, to live a more fulfilling life.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Finding that balance.
So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being here.
For this deep dive into Il Codice della Produttività.
We hope you learn some new things.
Yeah, and that you're feeling inspired.
Inspired to unlock your potential.
To achieve those extraordinary results.
In less time.
In less time.
That's the key.
Until next time, keep those productivity gears turning.
We'll see you then.